Opened back in 2003, have a look at the Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Right to the air is Daniels. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
Well, this defense certainly knows they're going to have their hands full trying to slow down this passing game. Here's an example on the very first play from scrimmage. I think we'll see some different looks, maybe some pressure from different places, but it didn't work there, and it's a quick first down.
Off the play fake, Daniels. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Milton Williams showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 26. A big play there for Philly. 61 yards.
I guess we got a good idea about what the game plan is for attacking this secondary. No beating around the bush with this crew. His first throw of the game is a deep shot, and it connects. That's a tendency breaker right there, because normally you build up to the big shot, but not in this case.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
From the 8, they've got it 1st and goal. They'll look to throw here. Touchdown, Eagles! Jahan Dotson from 8 yards out. And the Eagles will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Commander's going to retake the field for drive number 2. Here's Daniels. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. To the air goes Daniels. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Nolan Smith able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And, yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive. Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Throwing is Hurts. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first. Looking to throw. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
A first down carry for Barkley. And ultimately, this won't go for much, maybe a couple, but boy, he showed off that make-you-miss ability that certainly is in his arsenal.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jahan Dotson. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Eagles have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Elliott now to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Now you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Jalen Carter working his way back behind the line of scrimmage and dropping it for a loss.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Throwing now is Daniels. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. So 8 yards on the completion there, and now it's 3rd and 4. To throw is Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 26. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Motion man is Crowder. Daniels looking to throw. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Slot man moves right. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Nolan Smith, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. This is caught. It's Brown. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
After one, a 14-3 ball game. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down, as they've got it as we resume action. From the gun, it's Hurts. Escape, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Throwing on second and long. Hurts over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. Now back to throw. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Commanders are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. They'll let the QB keep it here off the option. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That time they pick up a 24 yards on the keeper. First down. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Now Daniels. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a first down.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
6 yards left on 2nd down. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Daniels. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Nolan Smith able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd and 5. Up the middle with Barkley. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down.
I don't care what anyone says. I want a big-time back gaining this kind of yardage each and every time I step on the field. A tone setter, these guys are hard to find.
They go play action with Hurts. Rolling to his right. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. Oh, what a move. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington 16. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And it's caught. And the Eagles are going to be set up with a first and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Well, there wasn't much of a window there, Charles. Had to deal with a couple of defenders, but able to find his big tight end.
And, partner, we know double coverage is a challenge for any player to try to defeat. But maybe it's a little easier if you're one of those big tight ends because you have a size advantage on just about anyone trying to cover you, and you use your body to create some space.
Flat. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts punching it in from a yard away. And the Eagles have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And the Washington offense heading out. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
We'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. Second and 9 now. Over the middle here to Brown. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Again, he'll drop to throw. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again.
And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
Back to throw again. And that is incomplete here.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw again. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
Out now is the punter, Braden Mann.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
Washington going to go on offense one last time in this first half.
And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Here's Daniels.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 24. They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep as he'll go instead with Barkley.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Throwing is Hurts.
Smith catches left side. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. 2nd down coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
From the 39,
Hurts. Out route, and it's complete to Brown.
and he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll look to throw. This will be caught once again by Brown. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
Under pressure, and down he goes. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
And they visited the end zone frequently in this one, and obviously they wanted another one. But give credit to the defense there. They may not make the comeback, but pride showed. Good sack on that play.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
First possession of the second half now for Washington. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Quick slant to Brown.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Play action, now it's Daniels.
Crowder's got it over the middle. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter and the entire 4th remaining. So, stranger things have happened.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Throwing now is Daniels.
It's complete to Brown, right side. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
The rookie from LSU leading this offense well. A good throw there leads to a 1st down.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a 1st down.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. De'Ami Brown
from 6 yards away.
And the Commanders are able to cut into that deficit. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 28-yard line.
He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It was Daron Payne who got in there to make the play.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They're going to look to throw.
Fires the quick slant. A.J. Brown's got it.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Now back to throw. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. 9 yards that time. fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Man open left side is Brown.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's
27-yard line. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Here's Hurts to throw.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
It's a gain of 3 on what will be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
This one goes out wide for Barkley. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 15-yard line.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
A quick throw there is incomplete. That was a lightning-fast incompletion. He got it, he threw it, and it fell to the ground.
What's that expression, life comes at you fast? In this case, the defenders came even faster. Incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
He'll drop to throw. Open man is Goddard, the tight end.
And the Eagles are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Zone coverage here defensively. They're going to let their tight end run a drag across the field. This is where a linebacker gets forced to pass him off. That time, the receiver gets lost a little bit, and he's able to make the catch and pick up good yardage and a first down.
Barkley is into the end zone for an Eagle touchdown. It finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it, and he gets it done.
Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. To the air goes Daniels.
Got a man. It's Brown. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
From the 35, here's second and a yard. They go play action. Daniels.
It got his man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A gain there of 30 big ones.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the 4th quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
Now Daniels. And yet again, it's McLaurin.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
They'll run with Robinson.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
Brian Robinson Jr.
A 9-yard touchdown run.
And the Commanders get a bit closer. So this now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts.
This will be caught by Brown. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Two yards to go, second down. Now Hurts on the option right.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And he's across the 45. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
from the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
51 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day.
Throwing is Hurts.
Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And he's taken down inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Hurts.
Shakes off the sack. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
It's getting cold in here, partner, because it looks like he's trying to ice this one away. Yeah, I know, bad dad joke, but what the heck, right? Scrambling for that first after the D blanketed his receivers, that's a backbreaker for the defense. They finish this drive off with 6, and this one could be over.
Back to throw now on first down. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. The kick by Elliott is good.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Washington ready to try again on offense. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Here's Daniels.
On the catch, it's Crowder. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Daniels looking to throw. This is swung out to Eckler.
So he stopped for no gain. And that will bring up 3rd and 1. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Throwing now is Daniels.
And this is going to be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Daniels going to throw for it.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A handoff. Barkley running left. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down. Stay in bounds. Keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll go to Barkley again. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout
as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Barkley, inside handoff.
And that should do it. He's got a 1st down. And the Eagles, they can run it out from here.
They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another 1st down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So it's the Eagles who get the win here. And the guy who really led the way was their quarterback, CD, and that's Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he did a little bit of everything, didn't he? He had 2 touchdown passes through the air, another one on the ground, and that defense, they really had no answer for many of their drives.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.